Hello everyone, this is The Reading Chair and I'm reading this one. It's called A Month in the Country by JL Carr. Apparently it is unlike anything else in modern English literature. Let's find out why. Just wanted to preface this by saying this is not a long book at all. It's one of the shorter classics. It shouldn't take you very long to read, maybe in just one sitting, a few hours or whatever. But it is a very, very charming little book, but tells quite a big story in a way, a romantic story that everyone can sort of relate to. So, A Month in the Country by JL Carr. Some short novels leave lasting impression, far beyond their page count. Books like The Great Gatsby, Of Mice and Men, and The Old Man and the Sea, they manage to distill profound themes into compact, beautifully written narratives. But among these, A Month in the Country still stands apart. It doesn't just make you think, it makes you feel. More than a novel, it's an experience. It feels like a warm embrace of nostalgia, loss, and quiet healing. Now, if that sounds good to you, then I highly recommend spending a month in the country. But what's it all about? What's the story, and who are the characters? The story is set in the peaceful English countryside just after World War One, and it follows the main protagonist called Tom Birkin, who's a war veteran and an art restorer, who arrives in the Yorkshire village of Oxgodby during the summer of 1920. There, he is tasked with uncovering a medieval mural which is hidden beneath the walls of the village church. Birkin gradually finds solace in this work, and he comes to enjoy the slower pace and the rhythms of rural life and the kindness of the villagers. As he slowly heals from his wartime trauma and the collapse of his marriage, Birkin forms quiet yet meaningful connections with someone called Moon, who is working on the farm as well, working in the village, who is an archaeologist searching for an unmarked grave with the vicar's beautiful but unreachable wife Alice Keach, and with the village itself. The novel unfolds like a gentle memory, capturing the fleeting golden moments of a summer that will never come again. Who are the main characters? Well, as I mentioned, there is Tom Birkin himself. Tom Birkin is the narrator and protagonist. He is a war-damaged art restorer who finds unexpected peace in the village. He arrives, he is a little bit more cynical. There's Charles Moon, who is the archaeologist and fellow veteran, also working in Oxgodby, whose own past and quiet melancholy mirror Birkin's. There is Alice Keach, the young wife of the village vicar, who in the story is a figure of beauty and longing, representing something just out of reach. And the villagers of Oxgodby as well, someone like a cast of a kind, who are eccentric but warm-hearted people who provide the backdrop of community and simplicity. Why is it considered a masterpiece? A Month in the Country is often regarded as one of the finest short novels in English literature, and here's why. It is the perfect evocation of nostalgia. The novel is infused with a bittersweet sense of looking back, of remembering a time when life felt simpler and more beautiful. There is an elegance in its simplicity. At just over 100 pages, it captures more emotion and meaning than novels 5 times its length. What I love about it is, as the story progresses, you get the meditation on healing. The book delicately explores the aftermath of war, not through action, but through the slow, almost imperceptible process of recovery. It is a love letter to the English countryside. Carr's description of the village, the fields, and the golden light of summer create a world so vivid it really feels like home. Obviously, I'm an Englishman living abroad, so this ticks all the boxes for me, and it really did give me that yearning, that longing. There is a universality of longing. Birkin's quiet yearning for peace, for connection, for a life that might have been, resonates deeply, making the novel feel personal to every reader. Now, who would like this book? If you are like me, a reader who loves the quiet, introspective novels filled with rich atmosphere and emotion, then you would like this story. Fans of L.P. Hartley's The Go-Between or Ishiguro's The Remains of the Day, anyone who enjoys nostalgic fiction that captures the essence of memory, loss, and the passage of time. Readers who may appreciate beautifully crafted prose and character-driven storytelling, that's in this story as well. For just over 100 pages, it does still capture many great themes. One being, of course, of memory and nostalgia. The novel is told from the perspective of an older Birkin looking back, making the story feel like a dream half remembered. The characters are post-war, so it deals with war and its aftermath through never explicitly detailed. The psychological scars of war are ever present in Birkin and his friend Moon. The healing power of art and nature is a big theme of the story too. The act of restoring the mural mirrors Birkin's own slow restoration of self. It conveys concepts of love and longing. Alice Keach represents the kind of love that is beautiful yet unattainable, like a moment that passes too quickly. There's a pivotal moment towards the end of the story where something happens and there's this duality of something potentially being triggered, and also covers the passage of time. The story is drenched in the realization that all things, no matter how perfect, must eventually fade. Now, the summer ends, the mural is completed, and he must move on. Years later, he looks back on it not with regret, but with a wistful understanding that such moments, however brief, are what makes life beautiful. And I think it's something that we can all relate to. It's something that we can all conjure up, something in our own lives which mirrors that that situation. Here are my final thoughts of the book. If such books feel like a thrilling chase or an intellectual puzzle, A Month in the Country feels like a warm summer afternoon. It is a novel of deep feeling, of subtle but profound truths, and of the aching beauty of things lost to time. I heavily recommend A Month in the Country.